It was a silent night above Earth. The stars were calm. The moon looked peaceful like it always did. But tonight, something unusual began to happen. Millions of people around the world stared at the sky with fear, confusion, and excitement. They could see a giant shadow slowly moving behind the moon, something so big that it blocked the moonlight for a moment. No one on Earth knew what it was. But every alien empire across the galaxy felt the shock at the same time. Deep inside alien star systems, telescopes detected a strange energy spike near Earth. Their machines beeped loudly. Their alarms began to scream. Screens flashed red warnings. Scientists jumped from their seats. Generals rushed to command rooms. Leaders who never feared anything suddenly looked terrified. This energy was not normal. This signal was not natural. This power was something they had never seen before. Rumors began spreading from planet to planet, ship to ship, and empire to empire. Humanity is testing something new. Humans have built a weapon. No, this looks like a battleship. A powerful one. For many years, alien species believed humans were weak, peaceful, and slow to advance. They thought humans were friendly explorers, not warriors. Humans loved science, technology, and peace, not war. But today, everything changed. Behind the moon, something enormous began to rise from the darkness. At first it looked like a giant block of metal. Then lights turned on along its surface, dozens, then hundreds. Blue lines of energy glowed across its armor like veins of light. The ship moved with the confidence of a living creature awakening from a deep sleep. This was the Aegis-Class Battleship. The strongest ship humanity had ever built. A ship that would change the galaxy forever. Inside a massive space dock, a metal ring larger than many cities, the Aegis-Class waited in silence. It had been hidden for years, covered under shields and false signals so no alien sensor could detect it. Only a small group of humans knew about it. Scientists, engineers, and commanders had worked day and night, far from the public eye. Now the time had come. The ship activated. Its giant engines glowed like newborn stars. The entire space dock shook as the ship powered up. Panels lit up across its hull. Towers of armor shifted into place. Its surface shimmered like a mountain made from living steel. Every part of the ship looked strong, heavy, and unstoppable. The Aegis-Class was not just a ship, it was a message. No one knew its true power. No one knew why humanity had built something this massive. No one knew what threat it was meant to fight. But every alien race across the galaxy understood one thing. Humanity had crossed a line. They had stepped into a new age. Alien satellites pointed toward Earth. Alien warships turned their scanners toward the moon. Alien governments held emergency meetings. Panic spread from world to world. The galaxy whispered. Humans were hiding something. They were working in secret. But what have they built, and why? Inside the control room of the Aegis-Class, human officers watched their screens light up as alien sensors locked onto the ship. They knew the entire galaxy was watching. They knew every empire was afraid. But they were calm. They had expected this reaction. Because the Aegis-Class was not created for war against aliens. It was built for something else. Something worse. Something that was coming. But no alien knew that, not yet. As the battleship detached from the space dock, metal arms released their grip. Giant clamps unlocked. Warning lights flashed. Engineers cheered. Commanders stood proudly. The ship slowly drifted forward, its engines humming softly like distant thunder. The Aegis-Class looked like a moving fortress. It was shaped like a blade. It carried weapons no alien species had ever seen. Its shields bent starlight like water. Its surface absorbed radar. It moved quietly, but every movement felt powerful. From a distance, it looked like a dark mountain floating in space. Up close, it looked like the future of human survival. Alien worlds watched in fear as the ship fully came into view. Some leaders ordered their fleets to prepare for battle. Others sent scouts to hide and observe. A few tried sending encrypted messages to Earth, but humans ignored every signal. Humanity did not explain anything. Humanity stayed silent. Humanity let the galaxy fear. For the first time in a long time, humans were not the underdogs. They were not the weakest. They were not the peaceful explorers anymore. They were the species that had built a battleship capable of rewriting the rules of space war. As the Aegis-Class stopped just above the moon, the engines dimmed. The ship rotated slowly, revealing its full size and shape. It was massive, larger than any alien dreadnought. Stronger than any alien battle cruiser. Faster than any known human ship. A new shadow fell across Earth. A shadow that made the stars look small. The galaxy held its breath. Because this was not just a new ship. This was not just a symbol of human strength. This was the day humanity stepped into a new era, and the day space warfare changed forever. For many years, the galaxy believed humanity was harmless. Humans explored planets, traded resources, and built peaceful alliances. They were known as the species that loved music, art, science, and freedom. They fought only when necessary, and even then they tried to avoid violence. But deep under this peaceful image, humanity was hiding something. A secret project. A project so large, so powerful, and so dangerous that even most humans did not know about it. The Aegis project. It began almost 40 years ago when a strange signal reached Earth from the dark edge of the galaxy. It was not a normal signal. It was not a call for help. It was not a message from an alien empire. It was a warning. A warning from a dead star system. A human exploration drone had entered a region of space that no one had ever fully mapped. When it returned, it brought back only a short message. Something is coming. Something ancient. Something hungry. The drone was broken, half melted, its data almost unreadable. Many scientists dismissed the message as a glitch or error. But a few believed it. They studied the signal again and again. They found patterns, strange patterns that did not belong to any known species or technology. These scientists went to world leaders. They explained their fear. And the leaders listened. Humanity had always been curious, but now curiosity turned into caution. They needed to prepare. They needed protection. They needed something that could defend not only Earth but the entire human race. And so, in hidden labs around the world, the Aegis project began. The hidden construction. The project was not built in one place. It was built in many secret locations. Under the oceans, inside mountains, in orbital stations without any ID codes, and in old mines far from the public eye. Every part of the Aegis-Class Battleship was constructed separately. Some teams built the engines. Some created the shield systems. Some designed the weapons. Some worked on its strange energy core, the core that glowed blue like a tiny star. No single team knew the full design. No single scientist understood the entire ship. Everything was kept separate to keep the secret safe. The galaxy continued watching humans live peaceful lives. They continued believing humanity was weak. No alien empire ever imagined that humans were silently building a weapon stronger than any fleet in space. The Human Council's warning. 20 years into the project, the dark signals returned. This time they were stronger, clearer, and more frightening. They showed planets disappearing, stars turning dark, entire systems going silent. The ancient enemy was getting closer. Human leaders realized they did not have enough time. The Aegis class had to be completed faster. More workers were hired under fake names. More materials were mined from asteroids. More energy reactors were built in secret. The people involved began to understand they were building something huge, bigger than anything in history. Some were afraid. Some were proud. Some did not sleep for days. But all of them worked, because they knew humanity's survival might depend on this ship. Why humans stayed silent. Many wondered why humans never shared this threat with alien empires. Why didn't Earth warn the galaxy? Why didn't they ask for help? The answer was simple. Humans did not know whom they could trust. Some alien empires hated humans. Some wanted human tech. Some wanted Earth's resources. Some were rivals waiting for the right moment to strike. If they shared the truth, the galaxy might panic. If they shared the design, the galaxy might steal it. If they asked for help, the galaxy might turn against them. So humanity stayed silent. They worked quietly with patience and fear. They built the ship in shadows. They prepared for the coming danger alone. The final phase. 5 years before launch, the Aegis project entered its final phase. A massive ring-shaped space dock was secretly built behind the moon, hidden from alien eyes. This dock was made from metals that absorbed radar, light, and heat. From the outside it looked like empty space. Even advanced alien sensors could not see it. Piece by piece, the Aegis-class battleship was assembled inside this ring. The bridge was installed. The shield wings were attached. The energy core was placed deep inside the center. Weapons were secured into long, armored tunnels along its hull. The ship grew larger and heavier. It became more than a battleship. It became a fortress, a symbol, a warning. Soon only one step remained. Activation. The galaxy begins to notice. Even though humans tried to stay quiet, the galaxy eventually sensed something. Some alien probes vanished near the moon. Some spy ships went silent. Some energy readings from Earth became impossible to understand. Alien empires started whispering. Humans are building something. But what? A new station? No, it feels bigger. But no one knew the truth. Not until the night of launch. Not until millions saw the shadow move behind the moon. Not until the Aegis-Class Battleship woke up. Only then did the galaxy understand. Humans were not sleeping. Humans were not weak. Humans were not unprepared. They had been getting ready for the greatest threat in the universe, and the Aegis was their answer. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every empire, every federation, every pirate group, every kingdom in the stars had the same message on their screens. Unidentified superstructure detected near Earth. Energy level, unknown. Threat level, extremely high. Alien leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Their war councils filled with fear and confusion. Their generals argued loudly, pointing at blurry images captured by long-range scanners. At first, the image looked like a dark mountain floating in space. Then, as more pictures came in, everyone saw the truth. Humans had built a ship the size of a small moon. Alien panic begins. In the Zalcor Empire, a reptile-like council leader slammed his claws on the table. Impossible. Humans do not have this technology. A scientist replied with shaking hands. Sir, the readings do not lie. Their ship is using energy we cannot identify. Across the galaxy, in the Vereen Collective, crystal-bodied aliens stood in silence as they watched the ship's shape appear clearly on their screen. Their queen spoke softly. Humans have awakened something we did not know they had. In the iron halls of the Aurochs Dominion, a warrior commander growled. That ship is a challenge. Humans dare to rise above us. But even he could not hide the fear in his voice. No matter the species, no matter the empire, every alien who saw the image felt the same cold fear run down their spine. Humans were not supposed to build something like this. Humans were not supposed to be a threat. Humans were not supposed to surprise the galaxy. Yet here they were. And the galaxy had no idea what this ship could do. The first clear image. When the Aegis-Class Battleship finally moved fully into the open, far from the moon's shadow, alien telescopes captured their first clear picture. That single picture changed everything. The hull was layered in thick plates, each one glowing faintly with blue energy. The shape was sharp and powerful, like a blade made of starlight. Along the sides were long trenches where giant cannons waited quietly. At the front, a massive shield emitter pulsed slowly like a beating heart. Across its armor, strange patterns flowed like rivers of light. One alien scientist whispered, "That is not normal human technology. It looks older." Others wondered if humans had found ancient weapons. Some believed humans had discovered alien ruins. A few even feared humans had made a deal with dark forces. No theory sounded impossible anymore. The debate begins. Alien leaders argued for hours. Is this ship a weapon? Or a shield? Are the humans preparing for war? Or are they running from something? Some empires wanted to attack first. Others wanted to spy quietly. A few wanted to form alliances with humans. But the truth was simple. No one truly understood what the ship was designed to do. Humanity had revealed a titan, and the galaxy felt small in comparison. The spy satellites. A few brave or foolish alien factions sent spy satellites closer to Earth to collect data. The first satellite got within 500,000 kilometers before its systems fried. Its sensors melted from the energy field around the Aegis class. The second satellite was shredded by a strange gravitational wave the ship released during engine tests. The third satellite never returned any data at all. It approached the Aegis class and vanished. No explosion. No message. No debris. One moment it existed. The next moment it was gone. Alien scientists were horrified. What kind of engine does this ship use? What kind of shields can melt sensors? What kind of power can erase a ship without a trace? Every question made the fear grow stronger. Inside the Aegis bridge. While the galaxy panicked, the ship's bridge inside the Aegis class was calm. Human officers stood at glowing consoles, checking systems. Shield stable. Energy core at 78%. All compartments sealed. No external threats detected. The commander of the Aegis class, Admiral Rhea Morgan, looked through the forward window at the stars. She knew millions of eyes were watching. She knew alien fleets were scanning her ship. She knew the galaxy was afraid. But she stayed calm. Because she knew the truth that aliens didn't. The Aegis class was not built for fear. It was built for survival. Whispers across the galaxy. Across alien worlds, normal citizens began hearing rumors. A simple farmer on a rural moon asked, "What have the humans unleashed?" A young alien child pointed at the screen. "Is that a monster?" A merchant in a crowded spaceport whispered, "Humans have changed the balance. The galaxy will never be the same." Fear became respect. Respect became uncertainty. Uncertainty became silence. No one dared provoke humanity now. The quiet before the storm. Alien fleets moved closer to their borders. Defense networks activated around the galaxy. And every empire waited for Earth to send a message. But humanity stayed silent. They did not explain their ship. They did not contact any empire. They did not warn or threaten anyone. The Aegis-Class simply floated there, calm, quiet, and terrifying. The galaxy felt like it was standing on the edge of a storm humanity had already prepared for. No one knew what the Aegis-Class could do. But everyone knew one thing. Humanity had built something that changed the balance of power forever. And the first reveal was only the beginning. The Aegis-Class Battleship floated in silence above the moon, but deep inside the ship, powerful systems were preparing for their first real test. Engineers and officers stood at their stations, watching screens that showed rising energy levels. This was not a normal engine. This was not a normal ship. And this was not a normal test. This was the moment the galaxy would understand what humanity had created. A strange calm before the shock. Across Earth's major cities, millions of people stood outside watching the sky. They could see the Aegis-Class glowing faintly behind the moon. There was no sound, no movement, but everyone felt something building. Children pointed at the sky. Soldiers watched from bases. Pilots waited in their small fighters. Even animals sensed the tension. It felt like the world itself was holding its breath. And far across the galaxy, alien empires also waited. Their scanners were focused on Earth. Their sensors were locked onto the ship. Their generals stood ready for any sign of aggression. Everyone expected a slow test, quiet, gentle, simple. Instead, they witnessed something they would never forget. Inside the engine core. Deep inside the ship was the heart of the Aegis. The Helion drive. A new type of engine developed secretly by human scientists. No alien race had ever seen anything like it. It did not burn fuel. It did not use reactors. It did not take energy from stars. It created its own miniature star inside the ship. A tiny sun, glowing blue, spinning inside a magnetic sphere. When the engineers began the test, the sphere brightened. The small star pulsed faster. Energy rushed through metal veins across the ship's hull. Core temperature rising smoothly, one engineer said. Shields synchronizing with engine output, another reported. All systems stable, the commander confirmed. Then Admiral Rhea Morgan gave the order. Begin engine test. Level 1, now. The galaxy feels it. The moment the engines activated, the entire space around the Aegis-Class began to bend. At first it was small, just a faint shimmer. Then suddenly the space around the ship rippled like water. Alien sensors across dozens of light years picked up a massive spike. Warning alarms screamed on alien ships. Data screens turned red. Some weaker scanners overloaded and shut down. In the Vereen Collective, a crystal scientist gasped. Something is distorting space. What kind of engine creates this? In the Zalcor Empire, commanders shouted. Pull our spy ships back. That field will crush them. In the Aurochs Dominion, warriors stared in disbelief. That is not a ship. That is a weapon of the stars. Everyone knew instantly. This engine test was beyond anything the galaxy had seen. The shockwave. And then came the shockwave. When the Aegis jumped from level 1 to level 2, a ring of blue energy burst outward. It wasn't an explosion. It wasn't violent. It was simply powerful. But that simple power changed everything. Small communication satellites near Earth lost signal. Old space debris vaporized instantly. A few abandoned drones melted like ice in the sun. Even alien probes hiding near the moon spun out of control. Some engines failed. Others drifted into darkness. One alien spy ship was hit directly by the shockwave. Its shields burned out. Its hull cracked. Its engines died completely. The crew, terrified, sent one final message. Human engine. Too strong, retreat. Retreat. The message ended there. When alien leaders received that recording, they froze. This was the engine test. What would happen when the ship used its real weapons? Humans stay calm. Inside the Aegis-Class, everything looked controlled. Shockwave recorded, an officer said. Power stable, another replied. No structural damage detected. Energy output perfect. The crew acted like this was normal. Because for them, it was. They had trained for years knowing the Aegis was unlike any ship ever built. Admiral Rhea watched the readings calmly. She knew the galaxy was panicking. She knew alien empires were scared. She knew everyone was watching. But she also knew the engine needed to be tested fully. Increased to level 3. The light of a new era. The moment level 3 activated, the Aegis-Class glowed like a rising star. Light poured from its engines. The hull shimmered. Shields expanded outward in giant waves. And for the first time the ship moved. Not slowly. Not gently. Not like any ship before. It moved with a burst of speed so fast, so sudden, that sensors across the galaxy momentarily went blind. Alien fleets watching the test panicked. Where did the ship go? Did it disappear? No, it's behind the moon and oh, now it's over Earth. How? The Aegis-Class zipped across space like a ghost. Instant acceleration. Zero delay. No sign of fuel or thrusters. It was not flying. It was cutting through space. To alien eyes it looked impossible. To humans it was only the beginning. The galaxy understands a terrifying truth. When the test ended and the Aegis-Class returned to its original position, the engine went silent again. The ship floated calmly as if nothing had happened. But in that silence the galaxy finally understood. Humanity had created a ship faster, stronger, and more advanced than anything ever seen. A ship that broke the rules of physics. A ship that no empire could stop. And this was just the engine test. The Aegis had not fired a single weapon yet. The galaxy was still trying to understand the Aegis-Class engine test when something even more terrifying happened. Humanity announced that they would perform a weapon systems test. They didn't send a message to alien empires. They didn't warn anyone. They didn't explain anything. They simply activated a beacon near the moon, a bright signal visible from thousands of light years. The message was simple. Aegis weapon test, beginning in 10 minutes. Alien fleets froze. Alien governments panicked. Alien soldiers stared at their screens in fear. If the engine alone could break scanners, melt satellites, and erase ships, then what would the weapons do? The galaxy waited silently. And then the countdown began. Inside the Aegis weapon control room. The weapon control room was a long, dark chamber filled with glowing blue lines running across the walls. Dozens of officers sat at consoles. Screens displayed massive levels of energy moving through the ship. At the center stood Admiral Rhea Morgan. Her voice was calm. Her eyes sharp. Her hands steady. Begin system checks. Officers called out one by one. Plasma rail system, charged. Starlance cannon, stable. Halion energy core, synchronized. Aegis reactive shields, full power. All weapon pathways active. One officer swallowed hard before giving the final reading. Main weapon, Starbreaker array, charging at 4%. Even he sounded nervous. The Starbreaker was the most secret weapon on the ship. Only 5 people in the entire human race truly understood how it worked. Even fewer understood how dangerous it was. The target, an old asteroid. Humans had chosen a harmless target. A large metal asteroid drifting far from any planet. It had no life, no satellites, nothing important. It was just a rock. But it was a very strong rock, almost 2 kilometers wide, made of dense metal. Even alien battleships would need minutes of heavy fire to destroy it. It was perfect for a test. Alien fleets pointed every sensor they had at the asteroid. They wanted to see exactly what the Aegis-Class could do. They were not ready for the answer. Weapon test begins. The voice on the Aegis bridge echoed. Weapon test, Phase 1, plasma rails. 2 long trenches on the side of the ship opened. Blue light poured out like rivers. The air around the ship shimmered from the heat. In the Zalcor Empire, scientists panicked. Stop the test. Those weapons will overload our sensors. In the Aurochs Dominion, warriors watched with excitement. Show us your strength, humans. In the Vereen Collective, the Queen whispered. No, this energy is not natural. On Earth, people held their breath. They trusted their leaders. They trusted their ship. But even they had never seen the Aegis fire its weapons. Inside the weapon room, Admiral Rhea gave the order. Fire plasma rails. The plasma strike. The Aegis-Class fired. 2 bright lines of pure plasma shot across space at impossible speed. They moved so fast that even advanced alien cameras could barely track them. The lines hit the asteroid. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire asteroid exploded. Not cracked. Not shattered. Not broken. It turned into vapor. A 2-kilometer-wide metal object became dust in less than a second. Alien ships watching the test went completely silent. Some commanders dropped their weapons. Some scientists fainted. Some leaders simply stared in shock. An alien broadcast captured a single line spoken by a terrified soldier. That was only their smallest weapon. And it was true. The plasma rails were not the main weapon. They were just warm-up. Weapon test, Phase 2, Starlance Cannon. The second test would be even more dangerous. On the front of the Aegis-Class, a long cannon slowly extended from the hull. Blue electricity danced around it. Space itself seemed to bend toward the cannon, like it was drinking light. Alien war councils watched in horror. What is this? What are humans doing now? What is that weapon? Inside the Aegis, an officer said softly. Starlance cannon charged at 100%. Admiral Rhea nodded. Fire. A beam of energy, thin as a needle but brighter than a star, shot forward. It didn't explode. It didn't make noise. It didn't shake the ship. But when it touched a distant metal moon orbiting a dead planet, the moon cut in half. Cleanly. Like a knife slicing fruit. Millions of tons of rock drifted apart slowly, glowing red from the heat. Alien fleets screamed. Impossible. No weapon can do that. Humans have crossed every limit. Even the oldest alien civilizations, those thousands of years ahead of humanity, had never seen anything like this. But the test was still not over. Weapon test, Phase 3, the Starbreaker Array. This was the final weapon test. The most powerful. The most dangerous. The most secret. The Starbreaker Array. It was the true heart of the Aegis-Class. A weapon designed to fight something far more dangerous than alien empires. Every screen on the ship turned dark. Every officer stood still. Every human watching from Earth felt their heart shaking. Because this weapon was not for normal enemies. It was built for the unknown. Admiral Rhea placed her hand on the control panel and spoke. Starbreaker Array, prepare to fire. The ship glowed. Not blue. Not white. But black. A dark sphere formed in front of the Aegis. A sphere that seemed to swallow light itself. Alien sensors went blind instantly. Their screens turned black. Their ships shook from unknown energy. Then, the Starbreaker fired. A beam of darkness struck a distant asteroid field. And erased it. Not destroyed. Not vaporized. Erased. As if that part of space had never existed. Alien empires panicked like never before. Because they now understood a terrifying truth. This weapon could delete matter from reality. And humanity had just used it at 1% power. The galaxy reacts. Across the galaxy, empires activated their full defenses. Kings and queens shook in fear. Scientists cried. Generals begged for answers. Because humanity had just shown a weapon that no empire could fight. Yet humanity still refused to explain why they built it. The galaxy stood in absolute silence. Because they knew. If this was only a test, then the real purpose of the Aegis-Class must be something even worse. Far beyond the borders of known space, in a region where even light travels slowly, something begins to move. It is not a fleet. It is not an army. It is something older, darker, colder than anything the galaxy has seen in thousands of years. For months, humanity watched the distant edge of the universe with deep fear. Strange signals appeared on their long-range scanners. Signals that were not natural. They were sharp, rhythmic, and growing stronger every week. Scientists tried to study them, but every reading created more questions. One thing was clear. Whatever was coming, it was big. Humanity did not tell the alien empires about the threat. They knew the aliens would panic. They knew fear would spread like fire. So humans stayed silent and prepared alone. Prepared for something that could destroy everything. Now the truth finally begins to reveal itself. Across the empty darkness, a massive shadow appears. Not a single shape but billions. Like a swarm. Like a storm of black metal stretching across many star systems. These things do not send signals. They do not talk. They do not negotiate. They move with one purpose. Consume anything in their path. Stars die when the swarm passes. Planets lose their light. Entire solar systems become silent, lifeless, empty. Alien observers at the galactic edge detect it first. Their reports arrive too fast, too chaotic. Unknown objects approaching, thousands, no millions. Our scanners cannot read them. They are destroying everything. We need help. We need. And then the signals stop. The aliens try sending more scouts. None return. Panic spreads across their councils. They look at maps showing the swarm's path. They see it moving fast, unstoppable, heading toward the center of the galaxy. Toward them. Toward everyone. That is when they remember the strange human broadcast. This ship is made to protect humanity, and to protect the galaxy from what is coming. At last they understand. Humans knew. Humans saw the threat first. Humans prepared while everyone else slept. Across the galaxy, alien leaders feel something they never expected: shame. They spent years thinking humans were weak, emotional, slow. But humans were the first to act. The first to detect the danger. The first to build something powerful enough to fight it. And now, for the first time in history, the aliens feel something else. Dependence. They need humans. They need the Aegis-Class Battleship. They need the strange new weapons hidden inside that giant metal giant. Every empire turns its eyes toward Earth and waits. Meanwhile, on the far edge of space, the swarm grows bigger. It moves like a living ocean of darkness. Ships vanish inside it. Stars dim. Gravity bends around its mass. This is not an invasion. It is not a war. It is a cosmic disaster, one that no single empire can stop. But humanity stands ready. Inside the Aegis class, commanders watch the enemy approach on giant holographic screens. They see the swarm's speed. They see the path of destruction. They understand the danger better than anyone. And they speak one sentence that travels through every human ship. The threat has arrived. Prepare for first contact. The engines of the Aegis class glow brighter. Its shields shift into combat mode. New weapon systems power up for the first time. The deep hum of energy fills the ship. The crew takes their positions. Their faces show fear, but also determination. Because they know humanity built this ship for one reason: to face what the galaxy could not. To stand where others fall. To fight the darkness that devours stars. As the swarm reaches the edge of human space, one thing becomes clear. This is the moment humanity has been preparing for. This is the moment the Aegis-Class Battleship was born for. And the galaxy watches, afraid, powerless, hoping the humans can stop the coming doom. The swarm enters human space like a black storm. It spreads across the stars, covering everything with darkness. Alien watchers across the galaxy go silent. They know, the final test has begun. But humanity does not run. Humanity does not hide. Humanity stands. At the front of the human defense line, the Aegis-Class Battleship waits. Its giant hull glows with blue energy. Its shield plates rotate like moving armor plates of a giant ancient beast. The ship looks calm, silent, but inside it is ready. The crew breathes slowly, watching the enemy arrive on their screens. No communication. No warning. Just a wall of black metal, millions strong. The swarm rushes forward, ready to crush anything in its path. But this time, the darkness meets something stronger. Something new. Something human. The Aegis class moves forward with slow, powerful force. Its engines burn like tiny suns. Its shields bend space around it. The enemy swarm fires first. Thousands of energy beams hit the Aegis class. But the ship does not shake. Does not fall. Its new shield system, something never seen before, absorbs the attack like water hitting a mountain. Alien watchers gasp when they see this. Nothing in the galaxy ever survived a direct hit from the swarm. But the humans' battleship stands untouched. Then humanity shows why this ship changed space warfare forever. The Aegis class deploys its main wings, giant plates that unfold in perfect shape. The space around the ship starts to shimmer. Gravity shifts. Light bends. The ship is charging its arc-lance cannon, a weapon sealed in silence for years. Human commanders give the order. Fire. And the universe changes. A beam of pure, white energy erupts from the front of the Aegis. It cuts through space like a burning line. The swarm tries to move away, but they are too slow. The beam hits them. Silence. Light. Destruction. Millions of enemy units evaporate in seconds. The swarm collapses inward, breaking apart like dust in a storm. Across the galaxy, alien fleets watching the battle cannot believe their eyes. They expected a long war. A hopeless fight. A sad ending. But with one shot, humans turn the impossible into reality. As the light fades, the swarm reorganizes, confused. No one has ever hurt them this way. They do not understand this new weapon. Humans attack again. This time, the Aegis class fires its Void Siege missiles, weapons that travel through micro-wormholes. They appear suddenly inside the swarm and explode with silent force. Stars shake. Space ripples. The swarm is pushed back for the first time in thousands of years. The enemy tries to retreat. But the Aegis class follows like a hunter chasing its prey. The final blow comes when the ship activates its starlight shield, expanding a huge energy field around itself. The shield disrupts the swarm's movement, freezing them in place. Then the humans fire the arc lance one last time. A blazing beam cuts through the center of the enemy mass. The swarm splits apart, and then collapses completely. The threat is gone. The darkness is destroyed. Humanity has won. Across the galaxy, alien empires watch in shock and awe. For centuries they believed humans were weak, soft, peaceful, slow. But today they see the truth. Humanity is strong. Humanity is brave. Humanity is the new shield of the galaxy. Alien leaders send messages of respect, something they never gave humans before. Some say, humanity saved us all. We owe them everything. This is a new age, the human age. The Aegis-Class Battleship returns to Earth in silence. Its hull glows softly. Its crew is tired. But they know what they did. They changed the future. They protected every living world. They ended a threat older than many civilizations. As the ship enters orbit, humans across Earth cheer. They finally understand the power they built, the courage they showed, the danger they defeated. This day will be remembered forever. The day humanity launched the Aegis-Class Battleship was the day space warfare changed forever.